What's up, everybody? I know I made that video yesterday and I got a little agitated and it was dropping the F-bomb a lot. I need to quit doing that because a lot of older people, they don't want to hear all that crap. And I'm sorry, it's just how I feel. I mean, I came out of rough environment, and that's part of it. I'm not proud of it, but it is definitely. I mean, it's definitely. This comes up from, I guess, a lot of on the streets bringing up. But anyway, basically, people, I don't want to. I don't want to aggravate people or anger anyone. I'm not trying to blame shit on people, but honestly, yeah, there's just a lot of shit going on out there. A lot of people are just believing and following stuff that they don't really know what's going on, and then when people try to tell them, they get upset and say that it's not true. Look, everybody, if you think you can't do nothing about it, then we can't. I mean, that's, this country didn't get created by people thinking they couldn't do something. It takes one drop of water to start filling, to create an ocean. But you get enough drops of water, and now you got an ocean. So we're all just little drops of water, and we can become an ocean. But everybody has to get this thing out of their head that there's nothing that they can do about it. Yes, there's a lot that we can do about it, people. One thing is we can hold our money. We can spend it in certain places. Stop going to some of these big businesses. Get these apps that, like the Buyer app, that shows you where your purchases are going. If it's going to these big mega corporations that's controlling everything, or if you want to start spending your money with the local people. I mean, there's ways to do it. So many people are scared of not filing their taxes that they're scared they're going to come get them. But if we was to all get together, yes. And you think you can't survive without taxes. Well, taxes wasn't here when they started the country. And they were surviving before that. If I shared a little post today that shows when the IRS and the central banking system, all that shit started together for a reason. And to stay in it and stay compliant with it because you think it's too complicated to get out of it, well, I mean, you're dooming the rest of your grandchildren in there after that. At some point, people, you will have to stand up for yourselves. I mean, right now, Generation X, we're going to be the last generation that can stand up for ourselves. Our kids and grandkids, I mean, our grandkids might change, but the way we've raised our children, our Generation X children, that the majority of them are not going to stand up for themselves. I mean, they'll go out there and protest, but they're not going to be able to defend themselves and stand up for themselves. Because first of all, they're ready to pull their own freedom of speech from themselves. There's words that you can't say now. And you can say every word. It's just a simple fact there's ones that you can't say. No matter who you are, you're in this country for freedom, for certain freedoms that you can't have in other places. Speech is one of them. Now, whether you like the speech of another person or not, totally different story. And you can say whatever you want. It's your actions that we govern you by. Not what you say, what you do. It's a big difference in the things you say than the things you do. A lot of things that are said are in the moment and out of emotions and stuff, and not necessarily clear thinking all the time, than the things that you're actually doing, that you put the effort to physically make happen. So, you can sit there and say that you hate, the N-words or Jews or white. I mean, it's all over the internet that white people this and white people that. I mean, and you can call anyone anything you want. But if you're a certain color of the same race, because there's only one race, you can't say a word. And everybody's upholding it. And I was even told, I said it, I grew up saying nigga, 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 nigga. It was in our music. When I was in prison, I was considered a nigga. Every time I'm around black people, like, Will, you ain't white, you a nigga. But I can't say that word. Well, can I? You say anything you want. See, when you start pulling all this little shit from each other and taking away all these rights, and you might as well start taking away everything. Next, you want to pull guns. How are you going to defend yourselves? You have guns in America to protect yourself from your government if your government tries to take over. It's not for fucking hunting. It is to be able to not let your government overthrow you. Like in all these other countries where they're protesting without weapons, they get shot at. That's how you will end up. And our country, they did not want that to happen. So, main thing is like, a lot of people are like, it's just too much. I got a lot of shit going on. I don't want to, I had, some people just don't want to fuck with, they don't want to mess with it. They don't want to look. They don't, it's just too much. And I understand some people are depressed, have depression, and some things make them sad. But nothing will ever get done if we don't stop doing something. And that's why I'm on here all the time. I'm not just trying to, I'm trying to annoy y'all into waking up. Because when it comes down to it, man, especially if you're any type of religious, then you need to really wake up. Because you're only using your religion to make yourself comfortable. You're not practicing it out of faith of God, and that you're practicing your religion out of fear that if you don't, you might go to hell. So you're gonna do these things and ignore that. I go to church. No, that's not what it's about, man. It's about living. It's about living and doing what you're supposed to do and being right. It's not that complicated, but y'all are complicating it. You're a lot. And you're making it easy for yourself to be non-compliant and helping people. And, honestly, when this Epstein stuff came out, everybody, I still got people in here hollering about, like no matter what, they're not going to stand up and protest that. They're still complaining about immigrants. Are you serious? Like, you're not even complaining about the immigrants that are missing. Like, I'm even trying to help y'all out, showing you that pedophilia ring is going into the immigration system, and they're stealing children out of the immigration system, and they're molesting them and doing all that shit too. That's the easiest ones to take, are the ones that don't have parents that aren't, that can't speak for them. There's no voice for them. But you're more worried about them arresting your friend that's been in school and all this illegal shit. It's like y'all are so... Your priorities are so jacked up. Like, it says if you're any type of religious, and even if you're a decent human being, you stand up for the infants and the children over everything. Over everything. Every day, all the time, no matter what. If you just don't give a shit about kids, that's totally cool. Some people don't. Some people just don't care. They don't. They just care about themselves. And so I can't expect 100%. But I can expect a lot more of you. And the one thing is, if anything... they say it's too much. Look, right now is a critical time in our country and on this planet. There's a lot going on. The tensions are very high, and it's everywhere. You can feel it. Y'all feel that energy when you go out? The separation of everybody, how they've put us all against each other. They make everybody judge everyone by just your opinions and not by your actions. And so basically... just get out here 1 hour a day and do some research on some of this stuff. Look up these things that I'm posting and just look at it and become informed. When you inform yourself, and the more people that get informed, if you get informed, then your neighbor's informed, then the one beside them, and then you get down to your whole street's informed. When you all go outside and you realize y'all are all informed together, y'all will feel more secure about doing something, because most people don't want to do anything when they feel like they're the only one standing up doing it. And there's no one getting their back because you feel like you're just going to get crushed and you're a waste because there's nothing you can do. That's the same. They got that instilled in your mind so you won't do anything. Get that out of your heads. Get in your heads that we are all raindrops creating an ocean. And oceans destroy and dominate the world. They can destroy a country. Like Bruce Lee said, be like water. But really, if you inform yourself and everybody else becomes informed without hating and just because you want to learn, it's all about just want to know the truth. It's not trying to prove one side right and the other side wrong. And it's just about, I just want to know the truth. Like, is people really sacrificing babies because they're satanic? In the files it says yes. Their emails it says yes. The DOJ, your Department of Justice of the United States says yes. And if you're believing your government and you're using your government to back what you're doing, then you need to believe that too. You shouldn't pick and choose the parts of your government that you believe that make you feel good. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to yell. I didn't want to get riled up. I'm not trying to piss people off. I just want everybody to start waking up. And the thing is you don't have to get out there and protest. You just got to get out there and awake and start talking to people about it. The more that people talk about it and get the truth out there, the ones that will stand will feel more secure in standing up for those that can't. But right now, the ones that can stand up, they realize that if they do, they'll be taken out so fast because they're by themselves and no one has their back. So they're not. But if the neighborhood is behind one street, that street can do a lot. If that street is behind one house, that house can do a lot. It just takes more of us. And people don't get upset. Look, if you voted for Trump, and just say he it's a lot of accusations, all right? They haven't proved, but the FBI, like, as parents and stuff, and just as intelligent people, you read this stuff. If you voted for him, I don't care. This isn't about who you voted for. This is about what's happening. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care your political party. I care that these things are being done by individuals. I could care less their reason for doing them. I only care that they're doing it. You understand? I don't care their religious background, because so many people do things like they hide behind religion. Jim Jones, David Koresh. There's all kind of people that hide behind religion and use religion for the Zionism. They're using religion for a political thing. You have to know these things, people. You have to educate yourself. If not, then you're dooming your future. And how can you say you care about your children, your grandchildren, if you're not doing stuff to protect their future? And one thing is keeping America free. One thing is when you come to this country from anywhere else, this country has certain freedoms and certain rights that other countries do not. And if your religious beliefs say that those are wrong, then to come here, you have to decide hey, I'm giving up these certain religious beliefs, because in this country, it's freedom to have religion, but there's certain properties of my belief where it's respect killing and stuff like that is not allowed, and I cannot practice that there. See, you have freedom of religion to an extent, but you also have laws that you can't murder. So you've got to figure out which one's more important. Murdering your daughter because she embarrassed you, or being free and loving your daughter and figuring out that part of your religion is probably not the best thing to do. God didn't create his children for us to be killing each other over arguing over who worships him the best. That's what you're doing. When it comes down to it, that's what you're doing. You're saying the way I worship him is better than you. Some don't believe, some do believe. And that's where all this religious confusion comes in. And that's why Jesus came through. He didn't have a religion. He was against organized religion. It's the kingdom of God is within you, and men are fallible. So when you go follow men, and I'm not saying don't go to church and stuff, because getting together with people with the same like mind and praying together is a very powerful thing. But are y'all praying together because you're in the faith and love of Jesus, or because out of fear that if you don't, you're going to go to hell? Big differences. Big differences. So, once again, not trying to get religious, not trying to get riled up. I got riled up yesterday because, man, like I said, I'm all, it's hard sometimes not go, pedo hunting. I ain't lying. Jesus is the only thing that has saved these pedophiles for me. I swear to God. If I didn't have Jesus, man, I'd have been in prison for fucking hunting these bastards down. Especially when I found out there was an app to locate them all. That right there that was like, at first I thought that was the go-ahead. And I was like, man, I'm such a good shot. I could do that shit from so far away. There was all kinds of shit that went through my head. But then again, it's not my job. I mean, it's my job to stop what they're doing here on earth, but it's not my job to take their life for it. That's someone else's. I don't have the right to take anyone's life. I'm, by the grace of God, was given the ability to have a child with another woman. I didn't have it. We made it together. My sperm, her egg. She incubated it. We had a child together. She couldn't have done it without me. I couldn't have done it without her. So I don't, it's just time to pleasantly wake up, people. Even if you're older. If you're an older person, find these things out. The thing is, don't get upset if the wool was pulled over your eyes, because it was pulled over everyone's eyes. This is how it was set up. It was set up to do this, but there's, as everybody say, you'll hear, there's an awakening coming, and it is. This is the time to where everyone's being tested. Are you going to find the truth and look for the truth, or are you going to stick with your sloth and everything else, your ease of your life, and ignore it just so you don't have to worry about it? Because it's our responsibility to take care of heaven on earth. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, and even if you're not religious, because I know some of you not, you're like, oh, God don't, that's fine. But still, if you're going to be a good person, and there's nothing wrong if you don't believe in religion. Even Jesus was like a great freaking positive influence. Like if you was going to look for a role model, what better role model to have? I mean, honestly, either way you go, Jesus was the greatest role model ever. Whether you believe in God or not, he was the greatest role model. Even if you think Jesus was made up, he was the best made up role model ever. So, and for anyone to not support him, think about what you're saying and what you're doing. It doesn't matter where it's not matter how you get there, it's what you're doing. And it's doing the right thing. So, that's it. That's a long one, but I don't care anymore. I'm not trying to make short videos. I mean, you can watch them if you want. You don't have to. But basically, we've got to do better. We've got to chill on all this hate and punishing people for opinions and start looking at people's actions. And you got to watch out that all these laws that they're being passed, like Congress, I mean, the House just voted 327 to make it to where they don't have to disclose their sexual misconduct cases. And just so y'all know, they're paying these people that they're getting accused of sexual misconduct out of our tax dollars. They're paying them off. They're settlements in court for misconduct, and they're paying them people out of our tax dollars. That's why the House doesn't want you to know. The people that are making your bills are the people that are doing the crimes. It's going to take a major overhaul. It's going to take us to stop this next election, and we got to we're going to have to stop. We got to shut our country down. People say, you can't do that. Why can't you? Why can't you? What's it going to do? We're not going to starve to death. If we let them keep doing what you're doing and controlling everything, yes, you will starve to death. But right now, you won't. We can do it. It's just people are just you're programmed. But yet you say you're not. You say you're free. You got free will. Proud to be an American. But what are you doing for America? You're standing by letting them let pedophiles go, saying that, it's just not my problem. And then it's the other thing too, misconduct. It's, once they got you on that, they can do everything. So, anyway, it's Friday. I want y'all to have a great Friday. I slipped up and said the F word maybe twice. I'm trying to cut back because I want more people to listen, especially the older crowd. And I know that people like my Aunt Bonnie and Diana stuff, and they don't appreciate me saying this, and I'm sorry, and I do apologize, and my landlord too, Miss Laurie, if you watch this video. I'm sorry for my mouth sometimes, but I am passionate about what I said, and I come from a very rough place in life, and compared from where I came from to who I am now is freaking phenomenal, because I brought myself out of so much internal darkness and despair that people just think, the people that laugh the most and make you, the funniest ones that mess with you, usually we're the ones that hurt the most, because we're doing that so we're not thinking about what's going on inside. And that's basically where it comes from. You're always trying to make other people laugh, because as long as you're thinking about making people laugh, you don't have to think about what happened to you on the inside. And I never got to it till basically my last girlfriend with the kids and stuff left, and everybody just made me realize that it's just me, that, people love me. Most people love me for what I have when I have it, back then. So, I just, learned to learned who I was, and then I had to deal with all my internal stuff and realized that I never really dealt with anything. I was just always hiding from it by trying to make other people laugh. So, and I never even spoke about it. Now I can speak about it. The more I speak about it on here, the easier it is. I used to not be able to say nothing about it without crying and shit. So I never talked to no one because I couldn't. Because the first time I ever did, I got pushed to the side and said that, you're just trying. They didn't want to hear it because I think it's because they feel like they failed as a parent because it was their fucking friend that did it. So, anywho, it's, you have to overcome things like that and learn to not hate your parents. And there's a lot of shit that you go through that people just don't realize. And to come back and to be as loving, and even I am like, I hate fucking pedophiles. If I ever caught one, I'm allowed to squeeze his head off with my hands. But I know deep down it's not my place to do it. It's my place to stop him from what he's doing and lock him up and keep him away from society, but it's not my place to take his life. That's not why we're put here on this earth. And I just feel like once you take a life, most people that I know that have taken a life, it's changed them. If they're caring and loving people, it's changed them. If they got a little bit of narcissism in it, not so much. But if they're actually true humans and have hearts, even though they did it for the right, self-defense or whatever, they was justified, it still fucked with them and took a little bit away from them. So it's just not, it's not supposed to be in our nature. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. So anyway, big 20-minute video today. It's Friday, starting the weekend. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope y'all learn to love each other better. I hope you support each other better. And just so everybody knows, I love everybody. And that's why everybody knows. The people that know Willie love Willie. Because they know that I'm not evil. I'm not bad. I love everybody. I judge you by your character. I could care less what you do on Sundays in church. As long as when you get out of there, you ain't punishing somebody because of what you learned in church. So it doesn't matter. Because I've got Muslims in my family. I've got best friends that are, Jewish. I grew up, one of my best friends, unfortunately, he's, drug addiction now, but he was Palestinian. One of my best friends growing up. And, we all grew up together. We didn't hate and kill. All this hate and murder and all this shit is all this racism and hate is taught. Children only know this stuff because y'all are teaching it to them as adults. You adults are teaching hate to children in some form or fashion. So, think about that. And y'all just have a great day. And like I said, even though it bothers you to look at stuff, still inform yourselves. To think you can't do nothing, yes, nothing ever get done. But just remember, be a drop of water. Your neighbor will be a drop of water. They can be the next. And then once there's enough drops of waters, then we become a small puddle. And then we can become a pond, a lake, and then we become a sea and then the ocean. So to think that there's nothing we can do, don't sell yourself short. There's a lot we can do. And the first thing is becoming informed. So thank y'all. Have a great Friday, and I hope this didn't take too long. And if it did, then hey, thanks for watching. So peace, love, and if nobody loves you, Big Willie does.